All right, Libra for the year 2022. You'll have to forgive me, Libra. I am under the weather, but this is such a good spread that I have pulled for you today that I just couldn't not do it. I didn't want to wait on it. All right, so it's a year of accolades for you and others seeing you rise to success. And it could be, this success could be to do with something that you have created or some form of creation that is giving back to you in many different ways. And I see you might, it's a very kind of magical reading. So we're going to start. I see in your very personal sector of the chart, you might be wanting to, this year you'll be categorizing or filing memories of the past. And you might be idealizing some aspects of the past. It's almost like there's this happy deception, like ignorance is bliss type situation, for some of you. I also think that there's planning. So for many of you, this year will be a focus, you'll be mainly focused on planning plans of the past that you may not have been able to finish, that will be coming up into focus for you. And these plans are kind of something you've wanted since childhood. And you might have really needed to be strategic and almost kind of secretive about doing some of these plans because, you just, I guess you hold this very dear to your heart, whatever this is. I see you having, for those of you who don't have any familial issues, this isn't for you. But for some of you, you may be protecting your own heart from some of the people that you used to consider loved ones. Maybe there was a toxic kind of trauma bond situation going on. Addictions, certain things, codependency, narcissistic family dynamic situation that left you pretty defeated in the past. And you are just trying to maintain your inner equilibrium, maybe not knowing what the next steps will be in your internal healing process. It's almost like you're cutting out, you're valuing your own beliefs now, and you're cutting out people from the picture that don't serve your highest good or don't fit into your personal beliefs. And this will be done very, you will have a mental process for doing this. It will be a rationalization, not an emotional decision. This will be a decision that comes straight from, all right, I've done the emotional thing. I no longer am willing to do that because there's a choice here. And you will be almost, I see her cutting this way, kind of like a samurai almost, cutting out your own rainbow, cutting out a piece for yourself in the world. And that's, this is a year of triumph, so maybe this is something that you really need to do, that you really need to do for many years. Could be different for every one of you. You might be making a decision, choosing, you might have to make a choice between deciding whose side you're on within the family, but you don't want to do it with your heart. You almost want to make sure that it's a logical decision, even though it is, family is usually heart-based, I would hope. But at this point, you might be having to do something along those lines. In terms of your resources, you're really using your inner guidance to find what you need in life this year. There might have been some kind of sparsity, and you are kind of you're not letting the outside influences affect your inner world because you're trying to make a decision from within. So you may very well say, well, if I can't have this way, I'm going to do it on my own, or I'm going to achieve this in this way, and it's something I can do by myself. I do see whatever choices you make may very well benefit the family and make the family life, or the dream, because this is the dream come true. So it's almost like if you envision it, if you protect your vision, you can achieve it. So any resources, anything that you need, you can make happen for yourself. That's where the magic comes in this year. And if there is any cords that need to be cut this year between people, you're going to do it. And you're going to use rationalization. You're not going to get merciful about it. You're just going to be like, well, this person is not doing me any good in my life, and it doesn't matter who they are to me. It's time for them to go and move along on their merry way. How you're going to be thinking this year is you're going to be coming out of a major depression. This could have been a depression in terms of your tangible resources, and it also could have been a depression just about your own personal value, or changes to your external world that caused you to feel less than you are. This is going through a major change, and you are going to be more expressive about what you need from the people around you in your immediate environment. You are going to be maybe expressing your emotions more freely and more happily this year. And you may find that there are people that are going to be around you that maybe they've come out of they also have come out of challenging times just recently, and there will be a kind of radiating up glow is when I want a glow up between the two, your little immediate environment. People might be coming out to play. I think the winter was tough, and moving into the spring and the summer is going to be much better times for you this year. But that's, depending on, some people love winter, but this is more of a what's going on in your life. Maybe you're just finally getting through all this heavy memories of the past, and the big choices that you had to make rationally about maybe close ones with you that were no longer good for you. And you're choosing to be happy, and you're choosing to go for your dreams, and that you want to manifest something and attain happiness that helps you financially. And maybe you're tired of doing it the old way. Maybe the old way wasn't working anymore, even though, it held some purpose. And now there's new plans and, strategic elements to your thinking now. But you are coming out of a lack consciousness, and you are going into being more self-expressive this year. And it very well could be something to celebrate. We'll get to that later. In the 4th house. Also, sorry, we're going to backtrack to the 3rd house. Somebody who couldn't have a child before, a brother, a sibling, a person close to you in your day-to-day life, could have a child this year. That's something I'm seeing here. In the 4th house, I see you being completely the homemaker, the homebody, homemaker, Susie homemaker, cooking, hosting little gatherings, tending to your pets, tending to the stove, what you got cooking. You got a lot of things cooking from home. You might be making money from home this year. And this could have a creative collaboration aspect to it. We'll get to that later. But I feel like there's an offering up of practical love here. It's very motherly. You may very well be a mother, or a mother to your pets, or, a mothering for a lot of people in or around the home. So I see that being something that you embody in the 4th house this year. You are going to be immersing yourself in love. You are going to feel very romantic this year. And you very well could be channeling some very creative ideas or projects in terms of your art, whatever you do, crafting, painting. This is somebody who gets downloads from the universe within her mind and is able to take the elements around her and express herself through those elements. Very emotional. So this work that you could be doing, this artistic project, this love that you're feeling is very deep and comes from a higher place. And you may be immersing yourself in this art in the home. Or there might be a lot of time spent with loved ones in the home this year. I'm not really getting anything else, but if anything does come to me, I'll come back. In your day-to-day work and routine and service to others, I feel like this is another part of the magic here. So there's this element of not being able to see what's around you. And but knowing that there's something there. And having the wisdom and the discernment to seek out any elements that may be blocking you in your day-to-day life. And there's almost this witchy vibe I get from this, where it's, you know what's good for you, and you're not afraid to protect yourself, and you're not afraid to cut out what doesn't serve you anymore. So there's also maybe something you feared in the past, like being alone, being the spinster. I don't see you feeling so bad about that anymore. It's almost like you're looking in the mirror and you're saying, well, I thought that would be horrible, and now things have changed, and they might have changed for the better or for the worse, but I still have myself, and I still know who I am, and I am wiser than I was yesterday, and I'm not going to be stuck. I'm just going to make it happen for myself. It's almost like this queen takes a sword out, cuts the blindfold off, and she's left with the 7 of Swords, which is how you're feeling. You're feeling like you secretly know the answers to things. You secretly know the way around things. And that's part of this almost universal call, this universal download of like, you just know what to do. Even when the times are tough in your day-to-day life and work, you'll know what needs to go and how to make the moves you need to make, because it's coming from an instinct within yourself. And I guess it works out pretty good, because you are triumphant and abundant this year. The 7th house, more witchy vibes. Here the Queen of Wands holds her stang. She has a kitten, her familiar, on her lap, but she sits on a throne of lions. So there's a gentle side to her, but there's this ferocious side as well. And her power comes from her kindness, and people sometimes mistake that. I think that in the past people might have mistaken your kindness for weakness. It's not a good thing. Not with the Queen of Wands. She knows her value. She has power. She knows how to use it. She applies it to her day-to-day life. And in this year, you will be applying it to your relationships. If things are not going the way you want them to go this year in terms of business partnerships, romantic dynamics, any kind of teaming up with somebody that you normally do in your life, you will be stamping your wand down on the ground and saying, I've had enough. If you aren't satisfied with what you're emotionally feeling within the context of a relationship, you will be walking away this year. It will not be something that you even blink an eye at. You will be in your power, and you will know what you're looking for. In terms of romance, there may be a time when you have to I'll say, apply the door, where you have to say, you may leave now. But I don't really see breakup in this context. I see not chasing anybody. You're not chasing anybody. You're not going to suffer fools this year. You take your leave. It's almost like you have a partnership with the divine this year. You may very well go off and feel like you have a relationship with spirit this year because you're constantly being surrounded by it. You're surrounding yourself, you're cloaking yourself in it. And leaving this world and kind of dancing in the other realms for a while. Maybe that's where the daydreaminess comes in with the creativity, or the daydreams of the past. There's something very interesting going on there. You may very well be surrounded by women this year. You have the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Rods, along with the High Priestess. I mean, if you are in a coven, not that many of you are, but some of you may, this is like a coven of witches. I see like many women. It could be also in the family, the women in your family who have, maybe some of them have been divorced, and you recently gone through a divorce, or maybe there is an element of scorn that's relatable within all of you, and you are all going to get together and have a little shindig. It's going to be fun. I also see like women who have gone through some kind of burden in life, that share the same burden in life, or some aspect of womanhood that you all can relate to, getting together and celebrating unity with each other. I see that. You're closing the book on being stuck in the day-to-day routine. You are going to be learning new things. You may potentially pick up some independent study on something in your day-to-day life. That's something else that came through. Excuse me. Four Queens is like the ultimate witch, the manifester. There's application, immersion, transmutation, manifestation. You have all of those here. So something you are using your power this year to manifest what your life. You're cutting through. It's almost like the universe can't even stop you, because you just have had it and you are ready to succeed. Eighth house. More witchy vibes. I see spirit communication here. This could be, some of you might be into the more darker aspects of magic, and this would be more of a chaotic entity conjure situation. Also ceremonial magic is in here as well, but it's a different context. I'm not going to get too much into it, because maybe we'll do a specific reading about that stuff. But I see you being close to attaining some sort of something you've been building for a long time in your psyche, that you are kind of commanding forth. This could be something that's tethered to you in some sort of way. like a kite that you've built yourself, or this could be something ancient and something that you are looking to restore, or there's a traditional sense to this as well, where you could be, you could be doing ceremonial magic to conjure spirit. That's one way I look at this. The other way I look at this is you could be pretty much quitting smoking. You could be quitting something that you've been doing for a long time, that you've been stuck to for a long time, and it's kind of led you a little winded there. But you are at the end, and you are completing a cycle, and you are moving away from it. It's almost like you're looking back in the past and saying, oh my God, why did I do that? Another thing, finances. Any loans. You might have some troubling debts with some kind of not so nice collectors this year, that you feel bound to, that have been really draining you. This could be very well being you're getting so close to the end of this, and you're just needing to truck on a little longer to be able to afford, to pay it off and release yourself from this bondage with this entity. I also see exorcism here. That's just a random thing. A protecting of the heart, and a cutting out of some kind of dream. So there might be some spiritual dreams this year. There could be, you could have somebody who, the house of Scorpio. It's almost like someone from the past tries to mess with you. Some toxic person of the past, somebody who's, or maybe that has psychological issues, and they come at you and you whap them one last time, and it's over with. There might be a major transformation in terms of the organizations, or the authority organizations in your life, and maybe, I don't know, the song "I Fight Authority, Authority Always Wins" comes up. But it doesn't seem like they're winning, because you're winning. You're winning this year. There's so much abundance. So maybe a toxic financial contract of the past that's left you beaten down, and with nothing to show for yourself over the years, finally is coming to an end, and you are able to move on with your life and be free. And I see freedom here. I see victory here. I see freedom here. So, moving on, the 9th house. You're going to find a home away from home this year. You might have to go visit somewhere while your home is under some repairs. But I see it could be a safe haven, a place that you can go, that this could be farther away from you than you expect. So you might end up taking a trip. I see far away within the home. You may very well not be able to travel this year, or want to travel this year, but you yearn for exploring. But you want to stay at the comfort of your own home. So you decide to get a documentary about, or throw a party. Like, I see a party about, like, at the home that you host. It's like Paris themed. It's like Eiffel Towers and macaroons on the table and cafe and, you know, very, you're bringing the world into your own home. So you might be doing a room that's a different cultured themed room, or there might be a reason why you're bound to the home, and this is a way of getting out of that. You might have been sick for a while. That's another thing I get, some illness or injury, maybe recovering from injury or surgery or something, because the 8th house is surgery, I think. That's another thing. Yeah, so it could have been you're having a surgery this year. It would have been a planned thing, so you would know. And because you're stuck home, your partner and you decide that you're going to bring the party in, bring the world into your own home. Another thing, you could be having surgery abroad and be stuck in a hotel recuperating. That's another thing I see with this. But you're going to make the best of it. All right. In the 10th house of career, I see creative collaborations with a partner that end up becoming a destiny or a financial legacy. I also see you making the decision to not let the opinions or criticisms of the outside world interfere with your choices in career. You may very well be starting a business from the home, and it becomes much more than that. I see that very much so with this. Anything where there are I just see you not changing your mind. You're making a choice, and you're sticking to that choice, and you're gonna nurture it and make it happen. I'm gonna move on. If anything comes back, I'll let you know. 11th house. You are gonna have new friends this year. You're going to be taking risks with associations, stepping out into new groups. Whether that be online or in a support group, community, or, you know, any place that has gatherings of people. And these are going to be people that typically have a wisdom to them. They might be older than you. They might be involved in something that you're interested in. That has to do with your new business that you're starting. But they are the wise chiefs, we'll say that. They've got a little bit more on you. And also, there could be somebody in your life that cares about you, because this could be a romantic partner. Who's like poking you in the butt to kind of take a leap of faith and meet new people and new friends. This is something I'm seeing there. Moving on to 6th house and the 12th house. So the 12th house, and this has come up. This is a very interesting. The 8 of Pentacles in reverse and the 12th. I've gotten it a couple times already, and I do shuffle quite a bit, so I don't understand why this keeps happening. Probably collective energy. There's parallel lines crossing here. So I see what you can't help right now is that work might be a little bit slow for a little bit this year. But you're working extra hard, and it's almost like you're working so hard that the wheel might be upside down, but you're turning it around. It's like you're building the lever to turn the wheel around. You've mastered a craft now, or you've gotten to a certain point of attaining mastery with a craft. And maybe before it wasn't time for you to do this, and you tried it before and it didn't work. But now it seems like it's time. It's going to be time soon. So preparing for this behind the scenes, working behind the scenes on something, will lead to a turn in fate. I see in terms of your faith, your faith in the universe, your creator. I see you not having to work so hard to tap into destiny. So if you are working in the psychic fields of any kind, this would be your year where things start to, your third eye might be very open. And you may be able to manifest much easier because you're almost changing the way you do things. There's belief behind what you do now. You've built that belief and that faith in the universe, and you know that you understand that some things you can't help. Some karmic things you can't change. Some events of the universe that the universe tosses at you, you have no power over. So you are knowing that you are accepting that, but not laying down to it. If something is torn down in your life, you're going to build a bridge, and you're going to do it with magic. You're just going to do it, and people are going to be like, what the heck? Where did this come from? You know what I mean? People are going to be noticing. They're going to be noticing you. They might be noticing you for your beauty. They might be noticing you for your financial abundance this year. They're going to be noticing you for what you produce. There's something that you're birthing this year. And it's very well could be in the creative field with a partner. You could meet somebody at work in a creative collaboration that you love. It might be a little bit of a feisty beginning with this person. You fall in love with them. I see coming out of hardship mentality and into happiness. I see home life being wonderful, some recuperating from other people's resources, ties with other people's resources, or surgery of some kind. Coming in, just knowing your own power, harnessing the power of all the elements around you. The earth, the air, the fire, the water is all here. And it's just beautiful. What a beautiful reading. That's why, even though I don't feel good, I was like, I have to do this reading for Libra. My little Libras. Okay. Well, I'm going to let you go now because I think it's time for me to take a nap. But I hope you have a wonderful 2022, Libra, and I'll see you in January.